I would like watch all these big YouTubers. And I'm like, whoa, they have like a budget of like $10,000. That's insane. If I could have a budget of like $30 for each video, I could do so much.
His page says it all. Go explore your curiosity. And that's exactly what Hafu Go has been doing since he began posting YouTube in 2017.
Since then, over 9 million YouTube subscribers have been curious about seeing Hafu explore college life, training like a Shaolin monk, and essentially diving headfirst into anything that piques his interest.
Honestly, I just brought him here so we could do fitness challenges.
Seriously. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I love your fitness challenges because I do them too with my husband. And you just kind of get into it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. Until I broke my leg.
Oh, yeah, we saw that post.
We saw that. Listen, we want to get into it. We went onto your Instagram and we wanted to find like your first post.
Do you remember your first post?
On Instagram? No.
You don't? Okay, well, this is fun.
Here you go. June 11, 2017.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Can you tell us about this moment?
That was when I went back to China, and then I was visiting a place. It's like a tourist destination, just a little bit away from my hometown. And that was when I found out that one of my great-grandpa, he was actually kind of like a lord. A lord. Yeah. Meaning like he owned a lot of land back then, and then he had like a manor, and then he was like the judge of this town. And back then, judges were like really they had a lot of power in China. So I'm kind of royalty.
That's amazing.
Are you really?
No. but it's not like a king. It's like a
lord.
A lord. Like somewhere.
Like the bishop. Like he's.
So what did that do for you when you found that out? To be like, because you wrote in your caption, you're like, I guess I'm a boss, or like.
Is that what you wrote?
Yeah, you're like, explains why I'm a boss.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but the town is like in the middle of nowhere, so it's just like cool to learn about the history. Because I immigrated to Canada when I was 9, so I'm not really that in touch with like my Chinese side. It's like half of me. When I first came, I really didn't know any English. So we had English class in China, but the only 2 words I remember was hello and elephant.
An elephant.
Yeah, it was just like a random vocab word. So like it was kind of tough getting to know other people, but good thing about Canada is they have an ESL program, English as Second Language. So like I learned English, and it was fine after that.
Yeah. But what was that feeling? Do you remember coming at the age of 9, landing in Canada, knowing your life is about to change, that you left your home? Do you remember that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just cried a lot.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any friends here. I didn't know anyone here. It was just like a foreign place. And one thing I do remember, landing, I went to Vancouver. I immigrated to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And coming from China, where it's like all skyscrapers, and landing in Richmond, Vancouver, which is all farms.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did I get myself into?
Right.
I'm literally going to farmland.
Yeah.
How did your parents explain that you guys were moving down here?
Asian parents, they don't really explain it. They just say, we're going.
And that's it.
I came to Canada when I was much younger. I want to say like 2 or 3, and we landed in Vancouver and lived there too.
Oh, wow, okay.
And like, I don't have a real working memory of a lot of things, but that emotional memory, like when you said I just cried a lot, that emotional memory of being somewhere where you weren't before, or where things are different, because we moved quite a bit too when I was younger, is a big part, and it sticks with you. Mm-hmm. I know that it became a driving factor in the way that I look at the world. Did it become a part of how you decided to approach, number one, how you saw the world, but also how you saw your career?
I think one thing it did give me is the ability to adapt to uncertain situations. Like you, I moved around a lot as a kid. After I came to Canada, I even moved around to different cities in Vancouver. So definitely give me the ability to adapt. I think that's one thing that makes me very I think that's a skill that's needed in social media as well, you know, just because like the landscape always changes. So you need to, you know, adapt to new trends or change the content. You know, there's so many things there.
You're hailed often as someone who's mastered both long form and short form, like speaking to your ability to adapt. Is that from just your curiosity of seeing how things work? Or is that you planning out, you know, long form's got to work like this, short form's got to work like that?
Yeah, so when I started, there wasn't short form. There was mainly just YouTube. And that's how I started. But then, like, during COVID time, that's when, like, short form really blew up with TikTok and stuff like that. And I just felt like it was something that I had to explore, you know, or else I would be left behind a little bit. And I just, like, started by creating a couple of videos here and there. And then some of my videos got, like, 1 million views or 5 million views. I'm like, oh, this is like something that's like worth like focusing on because there's like a lot of attention there. Yeah. And over time, I just kind of like experimented and then crafted a formula for the short form that like can consistently go viral.
Yeah.
So let's start with a photo because I do have a question for you, and I think it's in the photos. In there, I think it is. So you could pick whichever you like, and you can we can go from there.
Okay. Top one.
Nice. Yeah. So this was your
college
campus
crawl
phase,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us?
See how cute you are there. Look at you.
It looks like a stock photo. Like that's how pro this photo looks like. It's like look at us.
You're adorable there.
Yeah. So what's going on in this phase of your career? And specifically, do you remember that day?
Where was this? I think this was actually
where is that?
This is
probably Stanford. It's probably Stanford in the courtyard. Yeah. Yeah. So like I started by making college vlogs, just like capturing day in my life, studying, stuff like that. And then eventually I transitioned into more campus tours of like Ivy League universities. And Stanford, this was when I was doing the Stanford tour. So I think that day, I met a lot of like local students. That's one thing I always try to do, just meet locals.
Yeah.
The students who go there, and so they can tell me their like authentic experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
so
what it was.
Going back, did you go to university?
Yeah, I went to UBC.
UBC to study
business, marketing.
Business because of your parents, or did you kind of know you wanted to go into the space of creating, or was it? Did you want to do business?
Because of my parents, I mean, like, I think at the time after I graduated high school, I mean, like, if it was pretty natural for me to go into university just because that's something that my parents have always said to do.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, so was your parents like, you know, you got to go to school, you got to go to university, like that's part of your...
Yeah, I didn't start social media before that. So I only started social media after I went to university. So before university, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of just chose a major that had the most flexibility. Yeah.
And so then when did you become interested in social media?
It was just kind of like a hobby that I was like exploring. I was just like, at the time people were telling me you need to find a passion and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right, yeah. That's the famous
put it on a t-shirt,
right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm working every day of my life right now because I have no passions.
Yeah.
So I was just like going around trying to explore different things. So I tried like learning marketing. I tried learning like paid ads, social media. I worked for like one of my professor's friends. And one of the things I was trying is YouTube. So I bought a $300 used camera off of Craigslist, the Canon T3i. Didn't even have autofocus. And I made my first video, watched a YouTube tutorial learning how to edit while I was making the video.
Yeah.
And that's how I started on YouTube.
Yeah.
Did you have a video at 12 years old?
At 12?
Did you not? Is that a joke about doing a Taylor Swift song, or is that real?
Okay.
Is that
all right?
Is that legit, or is
that is legit? That is legit.
Okay, it's true then. You did.
I can't find the video. I don't think anyone.
Because I was looking for it too. Do you have it?
Nope. I don't think. I don't think that exists anymore.
So is it you singing Taylor Swift?
No, it's like a lip sync. It was like a trend at the time.
Yeah.
You know, Soulja Boy also. I was like,
All of them, all the hits.
So you started early. Your career started at 12.
what do you call that a career? I was like, I watched a lot of YouTube growing up, like Niga Higa, Kev Jumba, Smosh, and we used to like quote Smosh skits in the playground. And just me and my friends, like a couple guys on the block, we would just like, do this for fun. It was just kind of like a pastime. We didn't get seriously into it. We made like 3 videos. But yeah, it was fun.
We got to find those videos.
So, going back to that whole thing, like, find your passion and never work a day in your life. Are you working? Does it feel like work now, following your passion?
No. Well, I mean, there's definitely like hard work aspects of it. It's not easy. But I definitely feel like I found a direction that I can commit to for the long haul.
Yeah.
Let's pick another photo.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You went from like the happiest
happy face
to the saddest face.
Yeah.
What happened here?
Well, I was doing one of my challenges, so like a workout challenge. I was learning to skateboard. And I was going down a half pipe, and I already done it like a couple times. So I'm like, I need to get it right for the camera. It didn't feel like I got enough air at the end. So the last time I did it, I went down. I went pretty fast, and when I was going up the ramp, I didn't lean my body forward, so I slipped backwards and I fell, and my ankle kind of just like slammed into the ramp, and it was dangling at the end. So I broke my ankle, and it was like a pretty bad injury. I was like bedridden for a month, and I had a cast for like 6 months.
Did you get back on the skateboard after?
Yeah, I don't think it's an activity I'll do again.
Like, I've learned.
Tried it.
There's no point of me trying to skateboard. It was just
I think there was like either it was a comment or a caption that basically went like, I don't think an ankle is supposed to go that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the video. So how long was your recovery?
I mean, like, it affected me for, like, I was on a cast and I was on crutches for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And I mean, even now, like,
6 months for a cast?
It was a pretty bad break.
Wow.
It was a pretty bad break. I mean, like, it was like I was in a cast, and then I was in like a removable boot.
Yeah.
But even now, it's like my mobility is not the same as before.
Yeah.
In the ankle.
When you look at your challenges, how do you pick your challenges? Is there something that inspires you, or is something that you're like, this is on my checklist and I want to do this?
There's a bit of both. I think as a content creator, I obviously have to think about the video first. Mm-hmm. So I have to think, does this make an interesting video? Because there's a lot of things I want to learn, but they might not be good for the camera. So that's definitely one consideration. And then the other one is just genuine curiosity. It's like, I did the Shaolin KungFu one because I was curious, and I always watched a lot of like KungFu movies growing up. So I wanted to train with a Shaolin monk. Yeah.
What was that movie you were telling me earlier?
Oh, the 1-inch punch.
Yeah, he was trying to. Yeah. It's like this, and I'm like, what is it? I'm like, what is that?
Like this,
Okay, let's see what else we got.
yeah.
What is it? It's like this.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to explain it. You're kind of the master.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
That's it.
There we go.
Is that
Shaolin
it?
training.
No, this is a little different. So the 1-inch punch is made famous by Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
So basically, you're supposed to like be able to punch someone without pulling your arm back. So basically, you just like go like this, and then you punch from there by using the rotation force of your whole body.
You have to go from the earth, go from the ground, and really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, any opportunity she gets, right? She'll like take you through. Yeah. So I'm really curious about this because, you know, even me growing up, I was like, oh, I love Kung Fu movies. those Shaolin monks are the best.
Yeah.
Training like that would be incredible. But you watch them, like in all the Jackie Chan movies, all that training is tough. All the old Jackie Chan movies, right? In these videos, you're doing all of it.
Yeah.
Like this with the hot water so that you in horse stance.
Yeah.
Like, was all of this legit? Was any of it exaggerated a little bit for camera? Or was really what the
training was?
Training was like?
No, that's pretty much what happened. That's pretty much what happened. I mean, this is Master Yendi. He's a real Shaolin monk, and he's been training ever since he was like a kid, like 5 or 8, something like that. He's been training for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And it was a very intense experience. Master Yendi is a very intense person. He doesn't like to do things for a camera. He's like, if you want to do it right.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Do you
all
still
real.
practice any of it, or?
Not that much. I still stretch a little bit, but I don't really.
You were a fit guy before you did this.
Yeah.
We're talking like pretty buff, like
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like,
That's
you're like,
pretty good,
let me just show. But like, when you went in, did you have any sort of like, this will be easy?
Yeah.
Because I'm fit and I'm in shape and this will be no problem. Were you humbled basically by it?
Yeah, because Shaolin Kung Fu requires a lot of flexibility as well. And even though I went to the gym, I didn't stretch. So there were a lot of moves I couldn't do. And especially there was like one day we were just doing flexibility training. And that was like the most painful thing I've ever felt. Actually as a kid, I went to Kung Fu school when I was like 7-ish. And I always hated flexibility because my teacher would make me like do the splits as a kid.
Yeah.
And if we couldn't do it, he would like hit us with a stick. And I would like go home crying to my mom every day. It's like, my teacher beat me. How could you let me go study with him? And my mom's like, just suck it up, go do it. So like
Asian parents, right? Like we were just talking about our parents, and they just like, if you get hurt, deal with it. Feel, just move on. Yeah.
Yeah. So like flexibility is something like I did as a kid, and I was able to do the splits, but then it was something I hated so much that I never did again as an adult. So going back, it kind of brought up a lot of trauma.
Did you call your mom up immediately? We were like, I can't believe I'm doing this. It's happening again.
How long were you there for?
For the Shaolin one?
Yeah.
That was a 30-day thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so legitimately.
I wasn't like staying with him in the monastery or anything, because I would just like go home every day. But it was like a 30-day training spurt. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And you said that he's a very intense person. If you did something up to like his standard, was there a tell? Like, would he celebrate it at all, or was it just like, okay, next?
Master Yendi is so serious all the time, and his face is like so emotionless, and his tone is like very like monotone, but also very zen, very monk-like.
Yeah. So
like maybe I would see him smile maybe like 3 times in the whole 30 days. But like each time he smiled, it was like the Buddha shining light on me. It just made my whole day. But it was very rare, very, very rare.
So, some of the things I loved is your videos when you were doing the whole college thing, and you had like Harvard students on, and you give them like a grade 4 test or grade 5 test. And it really humbles you because they didn't get all the answers right? But those are the fun things. A lot of kids are enjoying your videos that way. It must be special for you to be able to educate kids, first of all, because I know my daughters are watching your videos because they want to learn about the colleges, which I think is so fascinating. That's actually how I actually discovered you, was one of your Harvard videos, I think it was, because she's like, I want to go to Harvard. She goes, oh, check this out. Did you wanted to go to Harvard too, right?
I don't know if I wanted to or my parents wanted me to, because my name is Hafu. In Chinese is Hafu, and in Chinese the name for Harvard is Hafu. It's like growing up, everyone would ask me when they find out what my name is. It's like, does your parents want you to go to Harvard?
Yeah.
And I would always say no because they told me my name meant like laughter and happiness. But I really think in the back of their head, they had hope. They had hope.
So did you think your videos would be a little bit educational?
What do you mean?
The kids are watching to actually learn about the campuses, to those little skits of doing those grade 4 tests with Harvard students.
Yeah, that's always something I wanted to include in my videos. Like,
you did, okay.
I didn't want to make like pointless clickbait videos.
Right.
I always wanted to add an element of learning into my videos.
Yeah, you feel that for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
What was one of the grade 5 choices? As you pick up one, I'm like thinking,
Yeah.
what was a grade 5 question you had?
Oh, don't ask me. I can't answer.
Oh, what was the sixth?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
you got it.
speaking
Oh,
of
there.
education-
Yeah.
So full circle. This is Duke,
Yeah, Duke.
right? And
Yeah.
you're there with Jordan the Stallion.
Yeah.
Big deal, right?
Yeah.
But so this is kind of a special thing, I think. Tell us about what this whole event was.
Yeah, so these two are managers from my management company. This is Doug, this is Michael, and then this is Jordan. So we're all friends because we're under the same management. And we were invited to speak at a class at Duke about like social media and just like the online marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a really cool. I mean, you said it in the post. I think it's a full circle moment, given that so much of your early content was based around helping young people find their way through college, university. That you go there to speak to help young people find their way through social media and marketing, and what you are essentially an expert at now, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it was a really surreal experience because Duke was obviously it's an awesome school, and I feel honored to be invited there to speak and teach a class, basically.
How did that even happen? Did Duke just call you up and go, "Hey"?
Well, he's a Duke graduate, so like one of his teachers invited us over.
Set it up.
Yeah.
What did you speak to about social media and content creating?
It was a entrepreneurship class, and then I also spoke at a social media class. So that was pretty natural. The entrepreneurship one is basically like saying like, what is the landscape of social media? Like how does it work? Like how do you grow on social media? Stuff like that. Yeah.
So how do you grow on social media?
Because
how many subscribers do you have? Like
9 million plus.
9 million, yeah.
9 million, yeah. Yeah, it takes time. But I think it just takes a lot of trial and error. It takes a lot of trial and error. It's both a personal growth experience and also a professional growth experience because like social media is so based on you as a person. You kind of have to like find yourself and find your voice. So it takes a lot of just putting out video, seeing what works, seeing what didn't work, and then adjusting from there.
Yeah. How quickly did you find your voice?
It's still something I'm working on, Yeah. It's like a consistent, it's a constant practice. It's just like artists, singers, they always honing their voice. For social media, that's something I'm always practicing as well.
You talked about personal growth, and you came to Canada at 9 years old. You went through university. You're now creating content.
Yeah.
Who are you now? And that's a hard question to answer, but who are you now?
Who am I now?
Yeah. Like, have you found yourself? Is this the place you want to be?
I think, yes, it's where I want to be, but it's far from where I want to get to.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Write that down.
Yeah.
You'll never work a day in your life.
No, but yeah, when I first came to Canada, I always had like when I was like a little kid, I always like wanted to be like an actor.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what being an actor meant, but I was like, oh, that'd be cool. It was just like a thought in the back of my head, and every time I said it out loud, my parents or like my family friends would be like, "That's not a realistic job." But somehow I feel like I've worked my way into that vision, not through acting directly, but like now I make videos. I'm basically producing my own little movies every single week. Yeah.
What do your parents say about it? Do they like your videos? Do they talk to you about your videos?
It shifts over time what they say about it. In the beginning, they weren't super supportive.
Yeah.
There was a summer during university. It was like 4-month break. So I'm like to my dad, "Hey, I want to focus on this YouTube thing for the summer," and he was like, "You need to get a job." And I'm like, "Dad, why do I need to get a job? Because like I feel like this YouTube thing, I could really focus on it and make it work. You know, this is a job." And he's like, "No, you need to get a traditional job." And we just had this like whole heated argument. And eventually he threw like a dinner plate at me. And that really like hurt me. Not physically, he like purposely missed, but emotionally it hurt me because it kind of felt like he was denying me of my dreams. And I'm a good son, so I eventually did get a job, but then I was still doing YouTube on the side. And I would basically just like keep doing what they told me, but I would do YouTube on the side. And eventually I got to the point where like I graduated, I'm no longer living at home, I no longer rely on their financial support. So they can't really tell me what to do. And so I just did my own thing. And eventually, because I don't ask them for money, I can live on my own. They see that I'm happy. They kind of like came around to it.
Yeah. But you really had to fight for it.
Fight or just ignore ignore them for a little bit.
It's almost you had like a secret life, and I think a lot of, even in Asian culture and ours, is like you live your passion almost on the side and kind of build it, but in the forefront you're like, I graduated as an engineer, I'm not an engineer anymore. And was that because my parents pushed me to become an engineer, or was it really what I wanted to do? I still don't know the answer to that. Right. And now I did television for how many years, and I kind of missed out because I was an engineer and worked as an engineer for years when I really knew what my passion was. Yeah. And I lived that secret life.
But I think it speaks to your love for it. Yeah. And your belief in yourself that you weren't able to, that you were able to surpass, like letting the expectation crush it and crush you. And she just went, you know what? Whatever this thing is, even if you didn't see clearly exactly what it was going to be, I know that I can make that work. Yeah. When you talk to the students in university and they're trying to figure that out, do you see your story reflected in a lot of those students?
Yeah, for sure. Especially because I started when I was in college, right? Yeah. I was studying while I was doing YouTube, and many times I was doing YouTube while other people were studying.
Yeah. That's not good. what was your mark then?
It was good enough. It was good enough that I passed.
Oh, that's so funny. You were editing while people were studying.
Literally in the library, I was editing while my friends were studying. Amazing. So like definitely it's a struggle because people, at least like the students would say like, it's something I want to do, but I don't know if I should focus on this or focus on school. Also they're like, I don't know what to make content about. There's like so many struggles that we face in the beginning. A lot of it is just like internal mental struggles, things we have to work through in our mind. But yeah, I think I was able to give them some guidance.
When did it become lucrative for you?
Probably after like 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
So wait, you moved out of your parents. You finished university. You moved out of your parents' house.
Yeah, I stayed for like I finished university. I was still staying at home because it's COVID.
Okay.
And then after 2 years, I finally moved out. Yeah, I was in the beginning when I was making videos in school. I would like watch all these big YouTubers. And I'm like, whoa, they have like a budget of like $10,000. That's insane. And I was like, if I could have a budget of like $30 for each video, I could do so much.
Yeah.
And after probably like 4 years, like I was making like $1,000 or $2,000 off of YouTube per month. And during COVID, because I didn't have any expenses, that was when I was still working a job on the side online, but I was like, I'm ready to go full time because the other job was taking up too much mental space. Even though it wasn't taking up that much time physically, it was taking a lot of like mental clarity, and I wanted to focus on my mental energy on creating content. And I decided to go full time, even though I wasn't making as much money from my job as I did from YouTube. And a month after, I was like, I knew I could, but I didn't know how long it would take. And it just so happened the month after I closed like a sponsor, and I was able to make the same monthly income I did from my job.
Nice.
It was just like the universe works in magical ways, you know?
Yeah.
That gave me a boost of confidence that I could really pursue this.
Yeah.
It's almost that one pivotal moment in your life, right? That makes a difference.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Last one?
What is it?
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Oh, yeah. Before we get into this, though, I just want to say thank you guys for this opportunity. I used to watch YTV as a kid. And when I first moved to Canada, when I was 9, we didn't have cable, but we had a TV. So YTV was one of the like 7 or 9 stations that was free. That was free. So it was the only thing I watched because it was the only good one. I didn't like the other channels. So Carlos, ever since you moved to like entertainment, I was so sad. I was so sad. Yeah,
I appreciate that, man. I know.
He came into my world.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man, that's amazing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
So this
Yes.
is a screenshot of my most viral short. It has, I think, now 270 million views.
Oh my goodness!
It's called "What Happens If You Trap Smoke in a Box."
Yeah. So
Crazy.
what I think is super cool about kind of what the videos that you're making that people really latch onto is it really just is the distillation of that, the idea of curiosity. So when you're going through, as we go through his entire social journey, right?
Yeah.
You see how that changes and how you distill things down. I'm curious about if I can do this skateboard thing. I'm curious about Shaolin training. Eventually it becomes, I'm curious what will happen when I do this with this.
Yeah.
And people are like, me too.
Yeah.
Did you find that was another big shift in the way that you start to create content and ideate content?
Yeah, I mean, after I started doing short form, I realized like content doesn't have to be so serious all the time.
Right.
It could be like these like little fun things, fun little experiments that I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is how that came about.
Yeah.
I think that's the. I think you texted me and I'm like, whoa. I think it's
Yeah.
200. Like, have you comprehended how many people are watching this particular video? Like, how does that hit you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
You're
kind
just
of crazy.
What's going on, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. But my second most watched also has like 250 million views.
Yeah.
And it's also like a very stupid question. It's like, what happens? The question is, at what height does a brick break?
Right. But what's cool is like,
But again, it's a learning kind of video too, right?
Yeah.
It's
but it's
I like
also
it.
something that is like very universal.
Right.
You don't have to understand certain concepts to get like what happens when A and B meet.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm curious, like, in your travels, and I'm not sure how often you get to travel to different countries in the world, but what your experience is with people that recognize you and go, yo, like, right?
You're
Like,
the brick
I
guy.
wanna be
Yeah.
your-" you know?
Yeah, I was just in Dubai, like last week
Yeah.
for the UFC event, Abu Dhabi, and then I went to Dubai, and there was like a guy that came up to me in Dubai Mall, and I'm like, I don't even speak your
it's like the
language.
biggest
but
mall,
but like everyone there speaks English,
Yeah.
so they recognize me. So this is. Yeah, it's crazy how like content is able to be so universal and like transcend cultures and geographies.
So, you know, given the sort of like shifts that you've made in your content, and you said earlier on that there's so much more that you want to do, what is sort of like the next phase of Hafu Go?
Yeah. I think obviously I just want to do more of what I'm doing and bigger. So, working on building out like a production team to help me make more videos and bigger videos. And also in the future, I want to create big companies. And I think YouTube is a way for me to learn along the way. And eventually, if I find something that I'm really passionate about and I want to dedicate my whole attention to, that's when I'll focus on the company. And obviously, I'll still be doing YouTube. But YouTube is such or like content creation in general, it's such a unique opportunity that allows me to explore the world while still making a living. It's something that I would not have dreamed of like before. I am incredibly grateful that I'm able to do what I do.
When you say explore the world and with everything that you've done, is there something you want to do right now that you're a challenge or something that you want to go for?
Right now, not really. I think right now the challenge for me is building the team.
Okay.
That's like the challenge for me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are you building that team?
It's a lot of skills I gotta learn. You know, I gotta learn to hire people. I gotta learn to lead people. I gotta learn to manage people. It's a lot. And I think one thing that's been really helpful is because of social media, I now am able to get access to more events and people. And at these events, I can ask people questions.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did you do this? How did you do that? And just yesterday, I was like at Bufferfest, I was asking some creators, like, how do you manage your team? How did you hire people? And that's something I love. I just love asking questions. And social media allows me the opportunity to ask more people good questions.
That's awesome.
I almost feel like your degree of business is coming into place now.
You think so?
I think so.
Is it?
I feel like you're running your own business, right? Essentially, that's what you're doing.
You think so? Maybe my parents were right, huh?
At the end of the day, it all comes full circle, right?
Your dad's going to come to you and go, I told you so.
I told you.
Maybe I should have listened to them.
So we have some questions fun little questions.
Yeah, of course.
And just quick questions. What will we find on your Explorer page?
A lot of random stuff. It's like a lot of random videos. Just so many. Probably like a lot of jacked men.
Me too.
For different reasons.
Sure. No, kidding.
No, because I'm trying to bulk up. I'm trying to.
Are you bulking up right now?
I'm not bulking. I'm just trying to get bigger.
But
Right.
yeah, so more
yeah.
protein, more working out, more hitting the gym. Okay.
In terms of fitness YouTubers or fitness creators, is there anyone that's like your go-to?
Oh, I'm friends with Brownie. Stan Brownie. That's his. I love him because he did a 30-day transformation with me after I broke my foot. He was able to help me go through the recovery process and then help me get jacked after it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jacked. I like that word. Favorite person to follow on social?
My friend Jordan the Stallion.
Yeah. I love the the video you guys made together when you go around and you try out all the fast food
Oh,
hats.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that one yet.
Fun.
It's good. You will make good use of that one.
I would love that.
You're a, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a fiend for those.
I work
burgers
out, but
and
I
fast food.
eat like and I think that's why I work out. Who has slid into your DMs, or have you slid into others?
It's mostly just it's not nothing.
There must be somebody.
Nothing too serious. I don't think so.
Any girls or any? Like,
It's more guys than girls, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more guys than
What's
girls.
the coolest thing that's come out of like someone?
there's a story behind something. There must be. No.
It's more guys than girls. Honestly, like from like a lot of my DMs when I was making college content is like students asking me, like, "Yo, bro, how do I get into this college?"
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, what's the coolest thing that's come out of you just kind of reaching out to someone over DMs or someone reaching out to you?
Honestly, like that happens so often. I'm not able to pinpoint like exactly what's the coolest thing, but like it's honestly, like I said, it's one of the great opportunities of doing social media. I'm able to get access to more opportunities and people and like cool things like this. Like I would not have been here if I did not start social media.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Is there a favorite post of yours either on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube?
I really love the Shaolin series. That was something I was like imagining in my head for years.
Yeah.
In different ways, but like I was like, it would be really cool if I could train with a Shaolin monk. And then like during COVID, I was like, okay, what would this series look like? And I watched like the BBC documentary on Shaolin monks. I'm like, okay, how can I make this better? I'm gonna make it like longer, more parts, make it like the modern day Karate Kid. And eventually, like the BBC documentary, it had like 13 million views. And when I came out with my series, all the parts combined, it got 30 million views.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is something. It gave me the confidence to pursue what I'm genuinely curiously about.
Nice.
Because before then, I was like making content based on like what other people are asking from me. But that series really validated my own creative confidence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like that.
Do you look at numbers? Does the numbers matter to you at this point?
Yeah. I think it's hard not to because as a social media creator, as a content creator, your whole entire business self-worth is all dependent on numbers.
Really?
Okay, maybe not self-worth. That's a little far, but a little bit of it, yeah. I get a little depressed if like my numbers are down for the month.
Yeah. Are you able to separate those out a bit and go, okay, this is like, I know I'm putting myself into my creative, but my creative is not myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think for now I have not done that.
Okay.
I think it's something I need to do, maybe in the future. It's just because ever since university, it's all I've been doing. I haven't really had the time to explore like other things. And I think as I get more successful, as I am able to build a support team around me, then will have time to explore like other like personal hobbies and stuff like that.
But it's all consuming right now.
So how do you define success for yourself then? Because you are the epitome of what people want to do as creators.
Yeah. Just when the numbers go up.
That's what it is.
Well, okay. I think on a deeper basis, success is I want to see personal growth as well as growth in the platforms and business and all that. So when I'm not growing personally and I feel stagnant, that's when something needs to change.
Okay. What do you hate about social media?
I mean, it's an always on job. You're always on call. You're always thinking about it, and it just consumes you. I don't necessarily hate that. But I think it takes a certain personality type to be able to handle that.
Mm-hmm. You're always on.
Yeah, it's like always in the back of my mind when I'm showering. Like, how do I make this video better? Or like, well, I come up with an idea at like midnight. I go on my phone, write it down. Yeah.
Is it exhausting?
I don't really think about it in that terms. Like,
Okay.
It's just something that happens. You know, it's just it's life.
But that's like the life of any creative, man.
Yeah.
Like whether you're a musician or an actor, you know, we get that all the time. Inspiration comes from wherever, and you always have to be prepared, right? You
Yeah,
always have to be ready for it.
yeah.
Also sensibility of taking a break, right?
Yeah.
You know, when family or your
Yeah.
kids, or you have to say, listen, this is my career. It has to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And I need to focus on my priorities, which is your friends and your family. And, you know,
Yeah.
like, and we've done that. We've learned
Yeah,
how
I
to do
mean,
that.
I think it's like you just said, you're like, I'm not sure if I'm at this point yet.
Yeah.
But there's like there's a bit of a curve where, I don't know, for different people, it's different things that spark that, where you go, okay, this thing is going to take a bit more priority. And then it'll actually allow this creative or business side of me to flourish in a new, different way. But you have to see it to see it.
To
Like,
see
you have
it,
to
yeah.
get there to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as balance.
No, there's not. no, there's not.
I mean, for me, I kind of like going like spurts. It's like I go really hard, and then I may take like a day and do nothing.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want for you.
But when I'm doing
this-
nothing, I feel guilty.
No,
So maybe I should just do something.
that's what I hope you walk away and like, and when you do, don't feel guilty.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. I
You
don't
have
know.
to. Yeah, you have to take a break. Okay, I got this from your video. What do you rate yourself out of 10?
You know, we're all stunners. We're all stunners. 10 out of 10, baby. 10 out of 10,
Yeah, I
baby.
love
Yeah,
that.
man. And lastly, how much time do you spend scrolling on your phone?
Oh, too much. Way too much.
Do you have a screen time number that you know?
Do you
or
know
can
how
find
long
off
you're
the
on
top of
your
head?
phone?
Yeah, I do. It's been bad recently. Just
Can we
because
see your phone? Let's see.
I know. Oh, no. I'd rather
We're
not.
making everyone do it.
No. Okay.
Come on.
Let me see.
Let's play this game.
No, it's been really bad just because like I was just in Dubai, and then there's like a time difference.
Yes.
So I've been adjusting to the time difference, and I wake up at like 4 a.m. in the morning.
I can't wait
Yeah.
for this.
I'm too tired to do anything.
Yeah.
So
let's see.
I mean, yesterday it was like
8 hours.
8 hours.
That's not far off.
Not
We're
bad.
using mine because Sangita
I won't
refuses to
show
share
mine,
with
yeah.
anyone. But I'm at 7 hours, 24 minutes.
Okay. I
I
don't,
don't
feel
have
so
the
bad.
excuse of having been somewhere. It's
I
just
know.
me.
Yeah, and creeping his page.
That's right.
And creeping his page.
Yeah, it's work.
It's work, guys. It's work.
It's
Yeah.
Always. That's the
justified,
best thing that you
right?
can say. It's like, "Yeah, I'm doing research. I'm working.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's hard to separate. It's like, am I doing research
Right.
or am I just consuming?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's true. It's very true. I think it's a bit of
It's a bit of both every time.
Kind of do. You know,
Yeah.
dog videos are like.
Yeah, that's how I always convince myself, and then I'm like 2 hours after still on TikTok. I'm like, at this point, it's not that productive.
No, it's not.
Right.
But their videos are so cute. When you see those dog videos, you can't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Or the Jack Men.
Yeah, like, right? It's for research, okay?
Yeah,
Right.
research.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
How you do your biceps, it's important to learn.
Well, you know, you got
I
to get
mean,
the tempo and
the
you gotta,
tempo,
what are the reps?
right?
How
And
many sets?
Sometimes you sweat while you're
Yeah,
doing your biceps.
we're all figuring it out.
We're all figuring it out. It's
Buddy,
all research, anyways.
congratulations
But thank
on
you,
everything.
yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank you
on
all
all
for
your
having me.
success, yeah. And you really do show this generation of the importance with your videos, and it's educational, and that means a lot to me because my girls are going to university, and I love the fact that they're watching your videos in a fun way. So thank you, yeah.
Yeah, and happy that you are able to be living your dream or a version of your dream that you're like that you want to be in right now, because it's, you know, very few people that get to say this is what I'm doing, and I love it, right?
And you two have been doing that for the longest time.
Oh yeah,
For a while,
we're
little
old,
bit.
yeah.
Yes, we're
But
old.
the one thing I want you to get out of this is take a break without guilt. Okay?
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Try this year, end of this year, on Christmas Day.
Yeah, maybe.
Chill. I'll DM you.
Okay.
I'll slide into your DMs. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.